Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation! Good evening, and welcome back to Computerized Start Live. I am your host, Justin D. Morgan, and obviously I'm going to continue to have camera problems. Probably OBS getting back at me. Alright, now that I have dealt with the stupid webcam that I never liked, and apparently that webcam knew that I didn't like it, so it always liked to malfunction at the least opportune time, I would like to welcome the folks that are in the chat. And starting off, we have Eric's Edge. Of course you're not too early. Trina's Technobabble. Joe's Computer Museum. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. Frodo Jedi. Yes, Frodo, I guess you can be obnoxious in place of Joe. But then it wouldn't be the same Joe in the chat. Thomas Armstrong. Retro Techie. That webcam is definitely fixed now. Roger Jones. Yes, the Naboo made it onto Apple News. Also, the Naboo seller sold out of their latest batch of Naboos, so there may not be many left. Let's see here. Who else do we have in the chat? Yes, I do not recommend the Logitech 920 webcam. It hates OBS, and besides, Logitech let Streamlab, or not Streamlabs, or maybe it is Streamlabs. Whichever company they own, they let them do offhanded things with the Streamlabs OBS. I'm sure I'm going to miss someone. Ryan, Everything is Broken Garage. Adam McGee. And yes, I'm going to have to, actually, I'm not going to, well, I guess I'm going to have to fix the upside down, but I had trouble mounting well, it's actually my old webcam on the mount, so the camera mounts upside down, so I have all this camera view rotated, and apparently on each scene it's rotated, so tonight, every time I go to a new scene, I'm going to have to rotate myself, and then I'm going to have to go undo it when I mount the camera back where it goes. And let's see here. The chat was quite active during the 9 minutes. We have Sloopy Malibu. Joe's got 60 boards to solder. Well, I only have 2 laptops to repair. Jack 68K. Angular. Sorcerer Stan. Oh, we have a pretty crowded house in the chat. All right. Yes. Thanks to the technical difficulties, it feels like I'm starting late. So, of course, now I'm probably going to check my messages and... Nope, never mind. I was about to say, it's probably my luck the Facebook Marketplace seller is letting me know, yeah, I'm available if you want to come pick that 8-bit computer up. Nope, hasn't gotten back to me yet. Probably won't. I suspect he's either already sold it or was actually expecting someone to reply and offer a higher price than he listed it at. So, yes, let's see here. Channel announcements. I got some of these things. I bought a small package so I can try them. They're the rubber Dremel bit things for removing solder mask and corrosion, so we'll see if those work better than the fiberglass pen. Also, I know Jeremy is about to send me a whole box, including something that he picked up for me at VCF Midwest. And Now, this isn't the video card I'm looking for, but, well, this is the video card I hope will work in that project because it has a feature connector, and that feature connector has the CGA EGA output on it. So I'm hoping I might be able to make an adapter to make this work. That is all I'm going to say. But I picked this up on eBay, the place where I buy things I regret later. But at least I did find the documentation for it, so. Let's see here. We'll set that aside for now. Let's see. Any other announcement? Ah, yes. I've got a coffee. Goal for June is still open. You can see the progress bar on screen. June is almost over. So. Let's see. Oh, I guess the only other thing I got today in the mail was some parts I ordered off eBay for one of the LTEs. The feature is that it's broken. Yeah, that feature connector could be broken. Ah, Jeremy got a ZX81 at VCF. Oh, did I say Midwest? I meant Southwest. At an Alphabet Soup VCF event. Okay, that'll cover them all. VCF star. Because I'll probably mix them up. Let's see here. Joe needs a solder pot. Yeah, because Joe's got lots of boards to build. Well, Sorcerer Stan, I am keeping you in suspense because if the Facebook Marketplace seller ghosts me or otherwise tells me it's already sold or replies back and says, make me an offer, because there's so many people that will list it. Although usually they list it as free and then reply back, make me an offer. But he listed it at $50. I'm still expecting some sort of shenanigan. But anyways, it is not an Exidy Sorcerer, though. Sorcerer Stan. That's actually a brand that you've seen on the... Well, a brand that's been on the channel before, but it is an 8-bit. Let's see here. Yes, Jeremy, you may link your coffee goal here. Jeremy has a coffee goal. He wants to go to VCF Midwest. Yes, I got the event name correct. So yes, I will... Jeremy, you may put your coffee link in the chat. So, I will... So, anyways... And now for the main event. Yep, Mattel Aquarius. Nope, I have not seen a Mattel Aquarius show up on Facebook Marketplace. In fact, I don't usually see many 8-bit micros show up on our Facebook Marketplace. Adam G bought a Mac because it was listed with a 486 card in it, but it wasn't in there. Should I return it? Yes, I would. That would be very disappointing. Just like if I open up this... And normally I would say I'm going to switch to the table cam to show that I'm once again upside down. There we go. I'm right side up again. Show the Compaq LTE and Chris will show up in the chat, but I have it on good authority that Retrotech Chris is currently going treasure hunting for Compaq LTEs at the beach. And okay, that I may have gotten the message slightly confused, but I mean, come on, face it. I'm sure that's close enough to what he's actually doing. So, all right. Actually, I will put my. So my goal's on coffee, so I will. I'll put my link in the chat there too. So if you would like to contribute to my coffee goal. Oh, Trina, every time I go to a new scene, I will be upside down because normally my webcam is mounted upside down because I have it mounted on a rig that's above the desk, and that's the only way it'll fit. But to quickly switch out the camera, I just set it on top of the monitor, so that's why it looks a bit more distant and the light's not as bright on me, so... Anyways, Please, oh, please go subscribe to Retro Techie's channel so he'll stop bugging us about subscribing. Oh, wait, that's not how that works. Never mind. Yes, I actually, if the one thing is, if that Facebook Marketplace seller actually does sell me the item for $50, which I actually did go to the ATM on the way home from work so that I would have it in my pocket in case I do get a reply back from him. Who knows? Maybe I'll get to pick it up tomorrow or this weekend. And I think I know what I'll give away for my 512 subscriber giveaway. And no, it is not that item, but it is something else. So, well, Trina, the laptop is still showing upside down for a reason. And that's because Compaq is not Apple. And, well, actually, I guess maybe they are like Apple. They did not design the top of this to be right side up when the notebook is closed. They designed it to be right side up when the laptop is open. So, yeah, see, it's right side up now. Ah! Oh, Retro Techie, you know what I meant. Once you get to 550 subscribers, you'll ask to sub to get you to 600. No, you've got some cool things to show, Retro Techie, and I appreciate that. So, yeah, Compaq did not. It's kind of one of those things for notebooks that, yeah, someone left a recipe card inside. So, anyways, I showed a preview of this on my last stream, but I guess I can, because you all are probably wondering, like, what in the world is on this? And if anyone recognizes what any of these programs are referring to, I am curious as to what they might have been running on this. So, on the top of the notebook, that only shows right side up if the laptop is open, it looks like that might be some virus scan instructions. I don't know. I've never heard of new scan. But yeah, it's like they put this on so that when the laptop is open, that the people that are looking at you can read the instructions. Also, they have the function key guide taped to the display. I think Jeremy thought that it could be a virus scan. I was wondering. Jeremy thought that might be Lotus 123 or Lotus Notes, and then he thought it might be WordPerfect. I'm not sure which word processor this is, so maybe I should zoom in a little more so that you can actually read it. Maybe someone that remembers the word processors. But yeah, so apparently they wanted to make sure that Joe, WordStar. Yeah, I wasn't thinking that was WordPerfect. WordStar, yes. And apparently they used CG times 12 point a lot. Because luckily that is written on a tape label. So it is going to disappear at some point. But luckily the writing is on a tape label. Also, and maybe I don't necessarily want to know what all of this is, but it looks like they had a lot of Alt keys to do things. Like Alt-N, maybe respond submission. I don't know. Alt-T top, Alt-Q quit. Alt-R quit return to work. Alt-A work directory. Alt-S save. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. Format B:/N:9. It's like maybe they had a 5 1/4 inch floppy drive connected to this for the B drive. Talking about ticket entry and dissolution petitions. I don't know. But I guess the one thing that tells me that I just maybe would rather be completely oblivious as to what this is all talking about is the asset tag that was on it. So, yeah. I maybe don't want to know what Monsanto was doing with this notebook. I suspect the hard drive's dead. Maybe I have a bad opinion of Connor hard drives, but I think Compaq did use Connor hard drives. And I have a saying, if it's a Connor, it's a goner. Yeah, it's just Sorcerer Stan. Which one is their password? Interestingly enough, I don't think their password is written on here. That, like, seems to be the one thing not on their cheat sheet. Unless it's on the back of their post-it note. Their post-it note that they taped on. Yeah. Clean it carefully, yeah. If the laptop had a password. Yeah, Jack, 60K. The laptop had a password. It would certainly be written there, yeah. I don't think the laptop's got a password. Yeah, Joe's Computer Museum. Upside. You know the inside of it won't have roaches or fungus. Okay. So I got it, and I did remove the battery. I also have removed the 3 screws, but that was only because I wanted to make sure I had the correct screwdriver, because it was a little tiny screwdriver. So this, and I removed the rubber feet to see if there were screws under them, because they were kind of tricky to remove, but no. I think there are 3 screws that hold the bottom on. One is here, just in the battery door area. One is here on the back. Someone may have been in this before, or maybe Compaq actually put a sticker here that had an opening, because maybe they didn't mind if you opened this model. And then one is here, beside the modem and memory expansion card. So I am going to, drum roll please. There is a memory expansion card in this laptop. There's also a modem. I do not know. Well, I do know that Compaq sold 1 and 2 megabyte memory expansion cards for this model. Cue Joe making modem noises in his head, if not the chat. I'm sure this is a really speedy modem. And hey, it does look like I could take this to Canada and use it, because it's got a Communications Canada sticker on it. So, it's also an authentic Compaq part. Anyways, I will set this to the side. And the memory expansion card, if I can get it out. I can find my spudger that... Oh, there it is. Looks like I have the 2 megabyte memory board. So this was the max memory and their NEC memory chips. Oh, interesting. It looks like Oki Data might have made this for Compaq and they used NEC memory chips. Go figure. All right. So that is the maximum memory. So this computer has like 2.5 megabytes of RAM, because I think the base RAM is like 640K. So actually it's like 2.625 megabytes. All right, well, let me set this to the side. And Adam's like, yes, you can go to Canada, but you'll have to dial in French. Yeah. Oh, okay. Trina's reminding us, speaking of Canada, Canada Day is July 1st. It's like July 4th for those in the US, but with less firearms. Jeremy's not going to be able to go to Canada and dial this modem because he never learned French. Well, neither did I, so apparently I won't be able to dial it either. All right. I am not exactly sure how you're supposed to remove the bottom of this laptop. I presume that very carefully, and I'll probably need a spudger. I think it probably snaps together. So Thomas is letting us know the long weekend has already started there. Oh, that's cool. I found another screw. There is apparently a screw right there. Oh, that one's going to be fun to remove. Okay, that screwdriver is too big. Well, that would probably... And this probably means I bet there's another screw on the other side. Ooh, this one's... Oh, interesting. I don't have... Well, this might be a problem. The screwdriver I have is too long. It looks like I need a screwdriver that will actually fit in. You know, just when I was about to think that Compaq made this thing easy to disassemble so that you could actually repair it yourself, it would appear as if they actually diabolically made it very difficult to disassemble just by putting a screw where it's very hard to get to. Why am I opening it? Oh, good question. Okay. So I bought this notebook, laptop, whatever you want to call it, as non-working. I did test it before the stream, only because I needed to make sure that it was described accurately before the period was up that I could complain to the seller. When you plug it in, it makes clicking noises. So I am actually not, I don't want to demonstrate what it's doing again because that is probably not a good thing for it to be doing. But anyways, yeah, it made clicking noises. There was no life from the display. All right, so Irondell in the chat, welcome, is saying that if he remembers correctly, or if they remember correctly, you need to take the bezel around the keyboard off by releasing plastic clips. Then you will have access to unscrew the keyboard and motherboard. All right. And Retro Techie is saying just rip it open with a flathead screwdriver. Which I will say, no thanks. Okay, so maybe what I was doing is trying to remove the clips on the wrong side of it. So let me see if I can release the keyboard clips very carefully. So basically, I'm trying to press down. Probably have to run a spudger under it. Thomas is asking if there's a YouTube video on how to take it apart. Well, I haven't had time to look for one. But I might have to, Jeremy's telling me, line the screwdriver bit up in the opening and use a wrench to turn the bit. Well, I don't know, given how small the screw is, that I have a wrench that will fit. This is the 286, Trina. If it says anything, Jeremy, I have to use a bit that's not even marked what size Phillips screwdriver it is. That's great. Richard Techie's telling me to buy a blue scuzzy. Okay, Irondale says I don't think you need to remove that screw to open it. All right, well let me see if I can get the. Somehow I've got to. Maybe I am going to have to resort to going and watching a YouTube video. The thing is, I did search the LTE and Armada Facebook group, and I did see a number of people commenting that these laptops usually need recapped, so... Oh, there we go. Ah, okay, I think I just, Okay. Well, I just unclipped a few clips. Okay. By the way, if you tag me in the chat view, I see it does not get highlighted. All right, Irondale clips are tight, especially if it's never been opened before. Oh, Trina, screws. 4 to remove case, 3 near the back, side of laptop, 2 on sides, 1 on rear by the power jack, 1 inside the battery compartment, none under the laptop feet. So, just as... Well, that's the screw that I can't... Oh, well... Hold, please, while I find the smaller bit, because apparently the bit I have on my screwdriver must have been for something else. That might be why it wouldn't fit. All right. Maybe it wasn't the angle. Maybe... Oh, there we go. That was it. It wasn't the angle and the length of my screwdriver. It was... Apparently I forgot that I had swapped bits after taking these screws out. Now, hopefully I will not lose this screw. Not that I'll be walking barefoot on the basement floor anytime soon until I vacuum, but... All right. Yes, my coffee goal is at 69%. Yes. All right. I don't really Reddit, but I'll because Reddit just goes on and on and on and on way too long, usually. Oh, in this case, though, it looks like the first reply is the correct one. Clips. None on the back side of the laptop, 2 on the side of the battery compartment, 3 on the expansion side. 3 on the Oh, okay. 1 between the hard drive and floppy drive. The general idea of removing case after screws are removed. 6 plastic clips of the case need to be pushed inward. They fit into depressions in the main case. Pry the main case outward near those clips so the clips can clear those depressions by going inward. Probably best to pry into the spaces between the clips and not into the clips themselves, because the case plastic is more flexible, whereas the clip joints are the tightest points. All right. I think there's 2 clips on this side. Of course, the thing is, it says best to try to unclip the clips between the clips, but it's not like I can see where the clips are. Also, oh. Also can't see the chat. Use your... Oh. I got the screw out. Oh. Yeah. Reddit is... Oh, there we go. Okay, I just got one of the clips unclipped. Yeah, let's see if I can get the, oh, I may have to open the display to make room for that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Jeremy's saying Reddit has shot itself in both feet and both knees at this point. Well... Oh, what did Reddit do? Did they, like, increase their API fees to, like, $400 bazillion per API query? Or, I mean, might as well be that. Oh, yeah, that's right, they did. There you go. Just, there. That's the way Reddit can make infinite profit for the all of 2 microseconds that they'd be in business after that point. Just charge $400 bazillion per API query. It would effectively be about as affordable as that whatever other rate they came up with, which I don't remember what it is. Oh, someone could send me a pizza. That would be nice. I'll eat pizza on stream. Although, if someone does do that, you'll have to let me know you do that, because I can't hear the door knock from down here. Also, you're more than welcome to order a pizza for yourself, and then let everyone know how delicious the pizza is. Okay, there's one between the hard drive and floppy drive. Okay. Although as late as it is, I probably shouldn't eat pizza. That would be heartburn-inducing. Actually, let me see if I can get the clips on this side. So there should be 3 clips on this side. And actually... Alright, I think... All right, and there's that. And now that I've got those loose, it should just be a matter of hopefully finding the one clip between here. I think I would have to say which between pizza and tacos. Oh, that's a good one. If it's a good taco and a mediocre pizza, then of course taco. If it's a mediocre taco but a good pizza, then of course pizza. And if it's good pizza and good taco, then I'm going to go put the Logitech webcam back in place so that the stream will conveniently die before I answer the question. Because I don't know which one. Oh, hey, 1-bit. Well, I think you joined at just about the right time, because I think I successfully opened the case, and it looks like all the clips are intact. Yay! All right. Also, a couple things that I see right off the bat. First of all, well, I was kind of wondering, since Monsanto owned this, if... yeah, Taco Bell doesn't count. Yeah, Sorry. Yeah, if it's Taco Bell tacos, then, well, I don't know. I'm kind of meh about them. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that since Monsanto opened it, that maybe they sprung for the floating point unit, but let's just say I might have ordered one this morning. Just to make sure I had one. Alright, so let me remove the shield. Also, I'm glad to see that coin cell battery's in a socket. I don't know that I have a spare. I'm sure it's quite dead. Screws to remove shielding. 3 through the motherboard. See, there should be one. But okay, yep, one between the drives. 2 near the RAM expansion RAM. Oh, yep, okay. 2 on the side of the hard drive, 2 on the side of the floppy drive. All right. Actually, Thomas, even better. Do you really think that I would just stop at an 80 to 87? I ordered an 8287 XLT. Because actually I think that's what you're supposed to put in this. So yes, I will be doing math at 387 speeds. Because the XLT 286 has an internal clock multiplier. So even though on a 286 system, the math coprocessor is usually run at 2/3 the processor speed, the 287 XL and 287 XLT have a 3/2. I've heard it called a 3/2 divider, but it's more like I guess a 3/2 multiplier. So it'll basically undo the clock division, and it'll run the FPU synchronously with the CPU, or well, more or less. So and of course the thing is, I don't know what I would be running on a 286 that needs an FPU, but I mean, one can dream. All right, so there we go. There's the motherboard. Oh boy, this thing looks intimidating. And the thing is, I think I'm going to have to figure out how to open the display too, but one step at a time. All right, so what do we have here? We have a floppy drive that, okay, it looks like I can't remove that until I remove other things. That's fine. And there's that coin cell battery. Go ahead and pop that out of here. Maybe. CR1220 Sony Japan. I'll have to measure the voltage. All right. Place your bets in the chat. How much voltage will be on this battery? Oh, wow. I think if I sit here for an hour, I'll drain the battery. That's 400 millivolts. And quickly draining. Yes, that was a Sony battery. All the best stuff's made in Japan, Doc. Alright, so we got that battery out. Empty FPU socket. two nice ROM sockets for potential shenanigans. Let's just say that I happened to look at the BIOS map in the technical manual for this laptop and noticed that there seems to be a blank area of the BIOS that maps to where the XT IDE BIOS would go in memory. Hey, 8386SX. Did you possibly think the order that came through eBay might have looked just a bit suspicious? Because I got it today. But that's not for this laptop. Charge, alright, so what do I need to do? I need to, no wonder the Compaq LTE group was saying that the hard drive's pinout was non-standard. Well, look at this. That is definitely not a 40-pin connector. So this might actually be a standard IDE drive, but with a proprietary connector. So, yeah. Alright, but I can't remove that just yet. Actually, I'm going to have to see if I can find instructions for... Because now that I've got the bottom off of this, I see that there's nuts here. Like I was supposed to disassemble this from the other side, maybe? Hey, KMac Vintage, welcome. Alright. Hold please while I ponder for a moment exactly what I'm supposed to... Let me go back to that Reddit. Screws to remove the case. Clips. Screws to remove shielding. Ah. And they posted photos. Okay. Photos of the clips. Okay. Photos. Oh, that didn't help. Oh, there's a 720K drive in this laptop. That's nice to know. Alright, so the Compaq LTE group does mention that the capacitors on these do like to leak, although these appear to be tantalum. However, I do see an electrolytic hiding down there on the... because there's actually two boards stacked together here. So I do need to see if I can't unstack this. And now I'm wondering, was I supposed to remove the keyboard? Oop. Okay, the battery terminals are going to need cleaned because there's a little bit of corrosion on them. Yeah, I was kind of wondering if maybe the supposed to come apart from the top. Well, I think I think this is a valid disassembly process, because if you were to install the FPU or change the battery, you would probably just remove the bottom, as I've done now. But yes, most of the LTEs you do come from the other side to work on them, so yeah, the Reddit Trina found, though, did say that this was the way to open it up because I don't see a way to remove the key, like unclip the keyboard. Oh, wait. Is that? Oh, there's a little thing. Oh. Oh, no, that's just where the latches fit in. Well, it would appear... I mean, I guess I could remove these two nuts. Very carefully. I don't have a nut driver that small, though. And then getting these ribbon cables out is going to be interesting. I do know this board stacks on another one. And that's loose there. So I guess let me... Joe is saying brute force and ignorance is the way to go. Well, considering I would like to have a 286 in my collection at some point, I think I'm going to try... Yeah, I do not... Oh, wait. Do I have... I might have a wrench that'll fit that after all. I know you're being facetious, Joe. If you weren't being facetious, you wouldn't be Joe. Nope. Let's see. 4.5 millimeters is too big. 5.5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. Oh, there we... Wait a minute. I was about to say, you know, I sure thought there was a... Oh, 4 millimeters is too big. Alright, Trina is watching a video on disassembly. Thank you, Trina. I am, in the meantime, going to just try to remove these nuts to see if I can get this top board off. I suspect Compaq gave their repair centers a list of tools they needed to disassemble this, including the size of a wrench or something that would fit these. Or then again, maybe they didn't, and their repair centers, when taking these apart, were like, just like the 10-minute oil change places that will just simply improvise a tool to remove your oil pan, the bolt that, or whatever it is that keeps the oil in your oil pan. If they don't have the tool for your car, which most of the time is never, then they'll just improvise a tool to remove the said object. Alright, so now I'm going to very carefully lift up, knowing that if I break this, there is a set of these boards on sale on eBay, although more expensive than I really want to pay. All right. So this board contains here is the EDC 286-12, so it's a 12 megahertz 286. Some chips by Fujitsu. There's the Dallas real-time clock. It is a DS1285. Another Fujitsu chip. These are probably ASICs for the chipset. Here's one marked Compaq and Fujitsu. Probably more chipset. And then here are 4 256K by 4-bit chips. And then these are 4 64K by 4-bit. So there's 256K. Oh, 256K. 256K. So there's 512K. There's 64K and 64K. So that's 640K of RAM on board. And then these are 227 PC 256 ROM chips. So I think 32K each. So 64K of ROM, but not all of it's used. I'm going to see if I can't get some like EPROMs of this format, so I could maybe try to squeeze the XT-IDE BIOS into one of the blank areas. Just saying. I mean, that is assuming this is an IDE drive. And I can make a pinout adapter. If it's not IDE, then never mind. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm down to the board that has those funky, they look like surface mount, but they're actually through hole in a little plastic package capacitors. My least favorite. So, and then there's some electrolytics there. And all right, looks like here's the video cable, I suspect. Oh, well, there's the 2 screws that the nuts were in. Those are going to be fun to... Oh, that's weird. What were those? Those weren't screwed into anything. I think Compaq punked whoever opened this up, because I don't think I had to remove those. Oh, Trina just sent me a YouTube video. All right, Trina says at the 11-minute mark. All right, so let me see here. I'm watching this repair video. So the person doing this repair pointed to 2 screws. Or no, he's pointing to where the clips are, I think. I don't know what he's pointing to. I got it muted because of reasons. All right, so looks like, and I apologize, I can't really see the chat and watch this video. So I'll be back to the chat in a moment. So it looks like this connector should just slide out. I'm actually thinking maybe I need to disconnect these cables. Oh, it would probably help if I zoom out a little bit. Oh, wow, that's a fun connector. All right. And, well, that still doesn't help me remove the hard drive. Well, but I might be able to get to the 2 screws holding it in now. Alright. This is why also why I usually record my live streams locally, so that in the likely event that it's like weeks, months, or possibly even years until I put this thing back together due to various reasons, including but not limited to continually forgetting to order parts, hemming and hawing over which parts to order, time, yada yada yada. Well, I can put it back together. Ooh, that kind of stuck. So what is this drive? This is a Connor CP4041 Compaq model number 117214-001, patent pending, assembled in Singapore, type 53. Please record this information for future reference in your operator's guide. Oh, so Connor's saying that we were supposed to disassemble our laptop right after getting it so we could record this information in our operator's guide. Yes, right. Thanks, Connor. So I think this is a 40 megabyte drive. 4041, maybe? It seems kind of generous. Maybe it's only a 20 megabyte. Logic from the part number would dictate it's a 40 megabyte, but I don't know. Sometimes the part numbers aren't as logical as it might seem. But yeah, there we go. It's got a small connector that does appear to maybe be 40 pins, so this may be IDE, but we'll have to check it out. So maybe it might be possible to convert to compact flash card if this drive is dead. But the thing is, I won't be plugging this into anything standard because that's not a standard cable. So, alright, well. CP4041, I almost want to look that up. CP4041. Alright, well, let me lay this somewhere safe. Although it's a Connor, it's probably a goner. Well, Amazon says it's a 41 megabyte hard drive. No way. Hold, please. I just found a website that is claiming that this is dun 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 a SCSI hard drive. Is this a SCSI hard drive? How would I prove that? Is this really potentially a SCSI hard drive? Because if this is potentially a SCSI hard drive, then I don't need a compact flash card to replace this. I need a blue SCSI to replace this. Alright. Well, here's how we tell if this is IDE or SCSI, maybe. We count the number of pins, maybe. Although this probably won't help. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44. It has 44 pins. 44 pins would seemingly indicate IDE. There's nothing really on the bottom that says, this being designed for integrating in a computer, I'm not surprised it doesn't have jumper settings on it. Okay. Well, let me see. It's got 44 pins. I bet this website is not correct. Oh. It's because I followed the wrong link. No, that is not a SCSI hard drive. I accidentally followed a link for a CP3040. Alright. Nope, that probably is IDE. Okay. That's probably IDE. It's probably a standard IDE pinout, but on a much smaller connector. Maybe. Although, unfortunately, being potentially a Compaq-only drive, there may not be as much data on the internet on it as other things. So, I will probably have to check back with the Compaq LTE group on that. Alright. Moving forward. Alright. Guess I'll go ahead and remove connectors here. Kind of hoping I eventually find the backlight inverter circuit, although I suspect that is... okay. It's either on the power supply board, which is further in, or... Alright. Well... Alright, well, let me unclip these cables here. Oh. Okay. Let's go ahead and... Luckily, all these connectors are... It'll be easy to reconnect them because... location will determine what goes where. Okay, well, there's that cable. Let's get that one out of there. That one is just out. I think this is the display cable. Okay, those two ribbon cables at the back I'll have to get. Later. Alright, so there. Got those disconnected. So let me get the screws that are holding this in. Looks like I got one there. Because what I really need to do is get to the power supply board, because I bet that is where the problem is. Because the top side of this logic board, I don't see any signs of leaking capacitors, but That's not to say that they're not leaking and I just haven't seen the signs yet. I mean, all capacitors will eventually leak. Well, all capacitors with a liquid electrolyte will eventually leak. Of course, it'd be really cool if I find something really easy to fix, because the thing is, I don't know that I have capacitors on hand for this. I will probably have to order some, but you never know. Plus, there's no recapping guides for this laptop, so alright, so I think I got all the screws out. So now I think if I pry this up, carefully, now holding the cables away from it as I do. I'm hoping at least it will start coming out from one angle. Okay, I think I want the... Okay, those cables are probably going to be a real pain to get back in. There may also be another screw in here somewhere that I've missed. Move this. Move that out of the way. Alright, let's see here if I can... Let's see here. Will this shield piece come off? Alright, let me see. This is called disassembly by trial and error. If you're still out there in the chat, someone say hi, because something tells me there's another... Someone else is probably streaming at the same time as me. Oh, there we go. When the chat goes quiet, it's still useful to know that, yep, I'm still live. Maybe I need to remove the floppy drive to clear things. Okay. The screw and then the floppy drive should come out. I'll have to clean... I need to probably clean the floppy drive anyways. Assuming it still works. There we go. Ah, it is a Citizen brand floppy drive. That doesn't necessarily bode well. I don't remember which brand RetroTech Chris said is the unreliable one, but somehow I suspect it's Citizen. Ah, now I bet I can remove this shield, which of course is Torx. And then I bet I can get the logic board out. Oop, almost. There we go. That's it. I do like the fact that there is a warning to replace the battery with like type in a place where you would never see it, where the average user would never see it, unless that is referring to the CMOS battery. Kind of like the secret message to whoever's maintaining is like, warning, don't you dare replace the batteries with something that the customer is not going to want. Customer, do whatever you want. Service center, we see what you're doing. Oh, maybe my chat view is not working. It seems like I've seen some chat messages going, but I see the chat move, but then I look up and nothing happens. So, oh, maybe OBS Studio is misbehaving. So if people are asking questions in the chat and I'm not responding, it's because I don't see any chat messages. And I may have to admonish OBS Studio here momentarily. There we go. Now, I bet this board will come... Oh, actually, I bet if I remove this screw here... Oh, there we go. Now, that shield is out. So now, I think this board... is free to... Oh, almost. Ooh, there's ribbon cables on the bottom, too. Fun. Alright, well, I do see the power supply circuit. There we go. Alright. Power supply is on that assembly. Oh, it's a Mitsumi keyboard. Alright, so... Okay, I may have to figure out how to take the back off of the display assembly, because I suspect the backlight inverter is in it, and the backlight inverter was one of my suspicions. I'm also running out of places to put pieces. All right, let's take a look at this power supply. See if I see anything suspicious. So it looks like we have probably a MOSFET. That is insulated from items under it. Looks like there are two relays. That relay kind of looks like it has been runs warm or something, because I can't read the text on it, but I believe these might be relays. Although they're marked U3 and U4. Those sure look like relays. Like little relays. Alright, may have to look those up. Alright, we've got a metal cased thing. I have no idea what it is, but it does look like it's a through-hole part as well. These are through-hole. That's through-hole. Here's the transformer. We have two UNKOWN capacitors, which fortunately are separated off the board. They don't look like they're leaking. I don't smell fish. But I might be able to... Well, I don't know if I can test those. Alright, and on the bottom side of this board, there are a number of capacitors. Alright, I don't know what that component is, but it's got something sticky on it. That's never a good sign when you have something sticky on a component. In fact, you can almost see that. Alright, where's the board that stacked with that? So these would have been stacked like that. So, okay, so that component... Alright, I don't see a capacitor there that might have leaked on it. Actually, I don't see anything on this board that might have leaked onto this board, so... Not sure what that sticky substance is. Maybe it's just factory flux? I don't know. I'll probably take some isopropyl in a minute and see if it comes off. But we've got these two electrolytics here. That's the 4716 and a 4716. It's a 2235. This component here, can't read the writing on it. It looks like it's a MOSFET probably. Oh, MOSFET. So here's some of those really weird electrolytics. So they're like through-hole electrolytics in a little package to make them surface mount. And a couple more there. So the other board had what appears to only be tantalums on it. This board appears to be seemingly only electrolytics. Although there's probably some ceramic caps on here too somewhere, but I don't really see any tantalum. Oh, okay, I guess there is a tantalum here. Ooh. Actually, I was about to say I don't really see any signs of leakage. However, dun, 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 dun. Oh, look. I'm in... Oops, that doesn't look right. Maybe it is. Alright, I am really suspicious. Really, really, really suspicious that the chat is misbehaving and you all are yelling at me. I don't like it when the chat just stops. It makes me think I'm actually not live when I am. Alright, let me go to the control room. OBS is on my dirt list tonight because, as I suspected, you all have been going in the chat and hopefully have been behaving yourself, because the last chat message I have in OBS Studio is 1-Bit Fever Dreams saying, "True Eric, chop it in half." And then you all have been, yeah, I haven't been ignoring, well, I haven't been ignoring you. OBS Studio has been ignoring you. So I do apologize. All right. I guess let me catch up here. Because I knew, I think I did see RetroTech Chris is finally in the chat. Welcome, RetroTech Chris. Have you found any buried LTEs at the beach yet? All right. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's the link Trina sent me. There's True Eric, chop it in half. All right. Now let me continue from the last message I saw. Blah, 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 blah. Been talking about doing math. That's cool. Maybe I'll see here. Trina says, oh, never mind. He said he's focusing on the floppy drive. Oh, must be the video. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. The rubber's going to be melted inside one of the drives. Yep, probably. Yeah, it's a Connor, not a SCSI. Trina found a link on the hard drive. Excellent. I'll check that out here momentarily. Yeah, I think it's actually a 44-pin IDE. See, Joe's Pizza's there. Enjoy your pizza. Actually, at this point, okay. Yep, I8386 says it could be a form of SCSI. It could be, but I was looking at the wrong page. It's probably IDE. Joe's reminding everyone where to get blue SCSI. Jeremy's reminding me to count the pins. Trina again pointed out the same link because OBS Studio was being very, very naughty. Yep, 44 pins would be IDE with power. Trina's telling someone to text me and tell me to look at the chat. I was looking at the chat. It's just OBS Studio was being a pain in the rear. Oh, Chris just sent me a text message. Just sent a message called test message. Yeah, I just got your message a minute ago, Chris. Sorry about not seeing the chat. OBS Studio just like stopped updating the chat like 15 minutes ago, probably. Yes, RetroTech Chris thought he would drop in and say hello and have fun with the LTE repairs. Yes, Chris is here from Miami. Don't know how many LTEs he's found in the sands in Miami. Chris is asking what the model of the floppy drive is. You see, I should have known something was up when I did not see Chris pop in the chat as soon as I mentioned. Chris would know which one is the bad floppy drive. It is a Citizen UO or U0DA-02A. U0DA-02A, I believe it is. So, there it is. It's not the same as the ones that's in the LTE 5000s, but it is a Citizen drive. It's actually definitely a different drive. Let's see here. Yep, alright. Let's see here. Chris is headed back to the pool. I don't blame him. Adam McGee's asking if it's fixed yet. Nope. Let's see here. I8386, no luck with MSATA drives in the 5000 systems. Yeah, they do seem to be picky about what they like and what they don't like. 5000 series will max out at somewhere between 6.49 and 7 gig hard drive. That is a odd limit. But then again, Compaq probably never imagined you'd be putting anything near as large in the 5000 series. Let's see here. Yeah, Adam, it's free goo on that chip. Yep, exactly. Oh, my goo, my precious goo, Rob Reiner. Yeah. Adam McGee, my Centra 610 came with free electrolytic goo. It's the tasty green flavor. Ew. Yeah, someone that has worked on many first-gen Contour systems, you'll likely find a surprise once that cap is removed. Yes. I'm live, Dave. Yeah, those weird square caps are also in the Newton, yeah. Let's see, no buried LTEs found at the beach. Yeah. Can't say that I've gone looking, though, yeah. It looks like a standard floppy drive, really. Yeah, it almost does look like a standard floppy drive with a ribbon cable. You know, I bet I could... You know, that almost looks like... Almost looks like a standard ribbon cable of the floppy drive variety. I might just have to try a flash floppy based Gotek because I can get one of the slim ones. And then maybe I can 3D print a faceplate to match. I might have to try that. That is if the ribbon cable's the same. Or if the pinout's right and the ribbon's wrong, maybe I can get an adapter. That's actually an interesting idea. Then I can not worry about that. Let's see here. Drive overlay software. Yeah, that would work. Blah, 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 blah. Probably a belted drive, yeah. Some people have fixed a variant of LTE pre-Lite series, making a belt out of an old VHS tape. Adam McGee, I don't get why they ever made 3.5-inch drives with belts. Me neither. All right. And, of course, OBS's chat still is not caught up with reality. It probably never will. All right. Well, no time like the present to do what I was going to do a few minutes ago. All right. So, first of all, there's the component with the mystery goo on it. And it is... I bet that's just old factory flux. It's not goo. It's like, that's dried flux. Okay. That's dried flux. Now, what I was going to show you all. I was about to say, you know, I don't see any leaky caps on this board. And, well, that right there. Either that is flux on the board, or that is a leaky cap. Or both. It could be both. It very well could be both. I'm trying to focus on the board. Ooh, there's another one. I bet that... It's actually probably OBS's way of telling me to install the update. Although I'm seeing crud around components that are not even electrolytic, so... I'm wondering if someone spilled something in this at some point. Or maybe that's just flux. I don't know. I suspect it needs recapped. Yeah, that cap looks like the leaky stuff out of your centrist. Well, it may very well be. May very well be. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find my SMD. Oh. Speaking of that, actually, I have a neat tool that I don't use very often. And I don't think it measures capacitors, but... I don't know how well these will work. I don't know that they'll measure capacitors. Supposedly a smart SMD tester. See, that's ohms, diode. Oh, capacitor. Alright, don't know how well these will work with the capacitor in circuit. Well, seemingly, that is a... Not reading anything. Okay. Oh, there we go. 0.96 microfarads. Okay. Oh, it probably just can't do it. It probably can't read in circuit. Okay. That's not going to work. Yeah, it's like a fancy meat thermometer. I couldn't remember if it did ESR or not, but it apparently doesn't. Okay. So it does look like I'm going to need to get capacitors. Because I don't think I have any 2235s. I definitely don't have anything that'll replace these. I don't know exactly how I want to replace those. I've seen many approaches, and I don't like all of them. I've seen, at least for Game Gear repairs, I've seen some people replace this style of electrolytic with ceramic caps. I've seen some people replace these with through-hole caps that they bent to be the approximate shape as these. I don't know which approach I like better. But I don't have anything that'll fix this. I knew I would probably run into a I'm going to have to get parts. I probably should replace these, although they're Nichicon. So anyways, yeah, it looks like I need to recap this. Oh, Adam's asking if that's the whole motherboard. No, that's half the motherboard. Now it's the whole motherboard. Yeah, it has a stacking connector. So I have to say, for the time period, this is actually pretty compact. Although it's a compact. Jeremy's saying he would look into replacing the connectors for the hard drive with normal pin headers. Well, Jeremy, I will probably have to find some sort of an adapter. First, I got to figure out what kind of connector that is. And second, I'll have to figure out if it's a standard pinout on the drive. But yeah, the drive's probably dead. I would be more likely to be convinced to make an adapter board, not hack on a different connector onto something. Because if I make an adapter board, I'd be more confident that I won't destroy anything in the process. So anyways, I'm going to have to order capacitors. That's kind of the end of oh. Oh, I see what those screws with the nuts were doing. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm going to have to leave off, because I don't have enough hard drives to probably reasonably fix this. So I guess I should probably... Let me see if I can't... Alright. Don't worry, I'm putting screws in the plastic bags, not the logic board. I've got an anti-static bag somewhere for the logic board. I'll have to figure out what screws it needs. I'm not going to sit here and do that right now. I want to get the other laptop open and figure out what's wrong with it. We'll come back to this if there's time. Alright, here we go. So anyways, I will... Alright. Alright, so the motherboard is safely in a bag. Let me... really quickly take care of these. Alright, so there's that. Alright, good night, Sorcerer Stan. We'll catch you next time. Jeremy, I don't think I'm going to replace a Connor with another Connor because, as I say, if it's a Connor, it's a goner. So, I have no confidence that replacing a Connor with a Connor will result in any long-term reliability. All right, so these are the I need to get some pill minders, and then I can maybe make a better reusable system for holding these screws, but until then... I'm marking the bags with screws that are not along with a shield that will make it obvious that those screws go with the shield. So these are... Oh yeah, I don't blame you, Adam. Yeah, that big 5 1/4 inch hard drive is hilarious. I will see about making an adapter, or actually, I think there was someone on the LTE group that was thinking of making an adapter. So, maybe I can. I don't know. Maybe we can pair up and do something. And then these were... I don't remember what those go to. I'll watch my own live stream and figure out what those 3 screws went to, but it'll be obvious because of everything else. Oh, those were the shield screws. That's why I couldn't remember what they went to. They're the shield. See? Now, look, tonight I think I'm being a little better than I normally do, and I at least am putting them in bags close enough to when I remove them so that when I go to put this thing back together sometime the middle of next year, okay, hopefully it won't be that long, but it could be, I will better remember where the screws probably went. See? You all are rubbing off on me. Although I still probably want a pill minder because then I can even better organize them, and they're reusable too. All right, I'm just looking for another anti-static bag. Oh, here we go. I'll use the one that the NiCad battery came in because I'm about to put that in an LTE. I want to put the memory board in an anti-static bag. The modem, I don't really care about as much. And, all right. So, actually, I think I'd kind of like to set these things off to the side. So, I'm going to... Actually, I think I'm going to go to a be right back momentarily. Well, while I go put these somewhere to the side for the moment and go grab the LTE Elite. So I will be right back. All right, I'm back. I have safely put the LTE 286 away, and now we have jumped a generation, and this is a Compaq LTE Elite 475CX. As those of you model number sleuths might be realizing, it's a 486. In fact, it is a 486 DX2. No, actually, it's a 486 DX475. The 4 being for 486, and then 75 for the processor speed. CX, that's for TFT display. So this is the top tier unit. I bought this on eBay as non-working, as I usually do, because I usually regret my purchases, and probably buying things as is one way to almost guarantee you'll regret them. This Citizen floppy drive is probably dead. The battery, the case is cracked, almost like someone might have had this apart before, but it is not leaking or bulging. So I guess I'll just add this to my pile of Compaq batteries that might need rebuilt. So I will, I'll probably have i8386SX rebuild a bunch of my batteries at some point. Although this one might have actually been rebuilt, I can't tell, because it does look like someone had it apart and then put it back together with packing tape. So I bet if I cut the packing tape, I bet the top is going to come right off, and maybe this one has been rebuilt. So maybe this one doesn't need rebuilt, although it is a nickel metal hydride battery, so it might need rebuilt again. Who knows? Yeah, it could probably be rebuilt likely. The case is just cracked. I think all of my battery packs, so I got 2 LTE Elite and 2 LTE 5000 battery packs, they all seem to be in rebuildable conditions, so yes, more battery rebuilding. Well, I don't have a spot welder, so I will let a professional rebuild them. All right, and let's see here. Oh, i8386SX is interested to see if that one was tampered. Well, all right. I think looking at the seam. All right, well, let's solve the mystery right here and there. So I think if I cut, because there's packing tape here. Well, if I can cut down the seam. And let me cut down the seam here. I don't know if it was tampered or if maybe it was just like dropped and although it seems to be awfully convenient the way it cracked, because that was tape holding it on. So well, here's what's inside of it. Yeah, it kind of looks like it might have been opened. Okay, so it looks like it still has the like thermistor thing here. I'm trying to see if I see a date on any of these cells. Because this label here looks like it's been cut. Or torn. Includes free glue, yeah. So it's 10 cells with free glue. And I do not see any dates or markings on these batteries. So I don't know. I'm not convinced this was rebuilt. It almost looks like they might have opened this to see maybe what it was doing. Okay. Yep, there's no corrosion. The board looks good. I don't think it's been rebuilt. I suspect they opened it up to just to look inside of it because they were curious. Maybe they were an engineer. Yeah, that's kind of what I suspected. Someone probably just opened it because they were curious, not because they were rebuilding it. All right. Well, back to the reveal. So, memory expansion. And this LTE Elite is more elite. It is a Kingston 16 megabyte upgrade memory module. So this LTE Elite has been upgraded to the max. Woohoo! Yeah, those were Sanyo. All right. Also, I believe by the time that this... Oh, I also wanted to point out, if anyone's noticing, I think there's supposed to be a label here, and it is missing. I do not know why it's missing. There is no label here. It's got the model number there, and yeah, I've got the laptop upside down from the label. But there is no label there. I don't know why. I'm trying not to be a suspicious person, but I find it odd that there's no label. I don't know why someone would have removed it, but I don't know. Sanyo were the best you could get in the Compaq world back then. Well, all right, let me see here. I do like the fact that Compaq did put a note here. Cover removal 1 of 6. And then I believe there's going to be 2, 3, 4. Ooh, there's a screw missing there. 5. And I wonder if the 6th one is under the memory expansion card, maybe? Nope. But I guess might as well remove that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, maybe? Is it the one that's in the battery compartment? I don't see an arrow pointing to it like the others. Because basically, there's an arrow pointing to these. Okay, now those are Torx bits, so let me see if I can find the right bit. That is like one size. Okay, so that one's T9. That's too big. And that one was T7. And that one's too small. So naturally, I need the one bit that I have. Oh, there it is. That I just simply put in the wrong place. Yeah, Adam, the 6 is better than the 495 screws in an iBook. Yeah, true that. Eric says they're easy to rebuild if you have a capacitance welder and a pain if you don't. Well, I don't have a capacitance welder, so... But I-8386 does rebuild the Compaq battery packs and sells the various CMOS and this is one of the CMOS batteries. So this will replace this because the LTE group told me that these sometimes won't power up with a dead. Oh, wait a minute. You know, I'm disassembling this and I just realized I did actually want to test this one first. Oh, these are the easiest of the LTE batteries to rebuild. Okay, so this is a power cord that goes to my other LTE Elite. So, all right, the eBay seller said this would not power up. But these seem to be very picky about what power cord will fit. So I just plugged it in. And I don't see a power light. Okay, so that is what I would call not happy. I thought I would at least give it a try. Okay, it is not getting power. Now, one thing I was thinking of trying on these, if I could figure out that I have a source that is convenient, there is a car adapter plug that is built in. Yeah, it's an AC socket in there. The AC cord plugs right in. But it also has a DC plug for the car adapter. You flip up the little door and that prevents you from plugging the AC cord in. Now, I don't have the car adapter, but I do know this is, I've been told this is center positive. Oh, I found the 6th screw for removing the cover. There it is. I knew I would eventually find one that had an arrow pointed to it. Now I bet the keyboard will come out. Now, I don't know that I have a plug that'll fit that. Same plug as a Mac Mini, yeah. I was wondering if that's the same plug as a Compaq LTE 5000. Which I do have a Compaq LTE 5000 power adapter. Try that. Actually, that's not 12 volts. It's actually like 18.5 volts. The Compaq power adapter steps the voltage up because I guess Compaq wanted to sell you a Compaq brand power adapter. Now, I have heard, though, that these will usually power up with 5 volts, or with 12 volts. So, if I can find a 12-volt power adapter real quick, which I think I've got one around here, I guess I could try it. So let me see if I can find a 12-volt adapter. It may not power up, but maybe it'll at least give me an indication that it's got life, maybe. All right, well, that's 5 volts. And that is 5 volts. Oh, and that is 9 volts AC. That's 5.1 volts. That is 5 volts. Okay. All right. I don't see a 12-volt adapter. So I think instead I will see if I can't remove the top cover now that I've removed the 6 screws. I think it should just unclip now. Yes, Compaq made these much easier to... Unless I missed a screw. Oh, there we go. And let's see, I bet there's a clip around the floppy drive. All right, good night, Joe. Run away, run away. Yes, and don't forget, folks, you can make Joe's day by ordering all your Apple III stuff from jcm-1.com. Or maybe some non-Apple III stuff to give Joe a little bit of variety in his assembly. All right, come on. I know. All right. It really feels like I forgot a screw, but I think it's a clip. All right, must be a clip. All right, must be a clip here. There it is. There we go. Got it, and sometimes you need a spudger. There we go, got it. All right, and what do we have here? Well, I found the CMOS battery. Yeah, it's right there. Oh, we'll go ahead and unplug this likely dead battery. So there's the old one. And I will dispose of that humanely. All right, here is the power supply. Let me see, I think if I remove the keyboard... Oh, someone has been in here before. Well, not that the missing screw on the bottom wasn't like indication number 1 that someone's been in here. The keyboard screws were loose. All right, at least I see that there is a processor module in here. That is good. Because I haven't been able to power it up yet, so... All right, and then I think the keyboard just comes straight out like that. There we go. Here's the keyboard. It is a US keyboard, unlike the one that someone posted a picture of on the Compaq LTE group, although I think it was an LTE Lite that had something different about it. I don't know what it was, but it looked like a different keyboard layout. So here we go. We have a... the display doesn't want to stay open. Okay, all right. Well, the battery contacts are free of corrosion. That's good. The floppy drive is a Citizen W1D. That's bad. The floppy drive is likely a goner. All right, the processor module. I'm looking to see if maybe it has a marking on it so I can see what it is before I can power it up. But nope, I don't know what it is. But here's the AC power supply module. I'm trying to see if I can remove it without removing too much more. Although it does look like I'm going to have to maybe maybe I remove that plastic clip and then will it rock out maybe? All right, maybe if I unplug it, I'm hoping this connector is keyed. Yes, it is. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. All right. Actually, I don't know that I want to unplug that. Maybe though I should remove the floppy drive before I ruin the cable, so that I don't have to order a replacement cable. I very well likely will have to replace the floppy drive. All right, let me see if this will. There we go. That will lift right out. All right. Well, there is the onboard RAM. All right, now that I got the floppy drive out, I'm not worried about breaking the... Oh, wait, is there maybe is there a screw in the back? Ah, that's why I can't pull it out. Okay. If all else fails, look for screws. And actually, those screws also seem to be a bit loose. Now, there we go. What kind of battery life did this get? I don't know. Oh, you're talking about atoms. There we go. Got it out. We'll take a look in this power supply in a moment. But this is my first suspicion of what's wrong. Let's take a quick peek here. So we got a cute little fan here that blows air through the AC power adapter. Here's where the car adapter plugs in. And it looks like the car adapter basically goes straight into the board. And then a bunch of components. Oh, there's a little fuse right here. How cute. I'm pretty sure that's a fuse. I'm not totally sure. It sure looks like a little glass fuse that's soldered to the board. So I bet that is a fuse. That is so cute. Let me zoom in. It's so cute. Y'all are like, you're geeking out over a little glass fuse. But look at how cute that is. Here's my spudger tip for comparison. I sure hope it's not blown, because that'll be a pain in the rear to replace. Although, let's check the fuse. It is quite possible it is blown. Luckily, it's not. Yes, I have a screw loose. Yes, I knew that, Adam. All right, we have some mystery items. Those are probably tantalum caps. We have a... I wonder if it's supposed to be like that. That doesn't seem right. All right, well, looks like the, maybe it's still fine. It's still soldered to the board. It's just the like metal piece around that inductor feels loose, or transformer, or whatever that is. All right, I don't see anything up with the logic board. I might have to remove the... Yeah, I'll see. I'll see if I can't find something to power this up from the DC jack momentarily. But let's look at the AC power supply since I've got it out. And then we'll come back to the DC option. I suspect I can probably power it up DC without that power supply there. In fact, I could probably power it up DC just like this and not have to put anything back in because it should power up without the floppy drive. We don't need... Well, okay, I may have to plug the keyboard back in, but it should work without the floppy drive. It won't need the RAM expansion. And I think that power supply basically just dumps DC in... I think it's probably going to dump the same voltages in. All right, but anyways, let's take a look at that power supply to see if that may be... I think they are transformers. The thing is, I gotta find a adapter that'll... All right, so here's the power supply here. It's got this wonderful... All right, I think I have conclusive proof that someone... Either I set this on top of something on my bench and it attracted a screw, or I just found definite proof that someone has been in this laptop. Well, yeah, there was a screw in it. Okay, maybe that was my doing. Maybe I set it down and didn't realize that I set it on top of the screw, but... All right, so I need to peel this plastic insulation off so I can see. And I see there are some through-hole capacitors. Oh, looky here. I found a bug. There was a bug in the system. Lovely. All right, the power supply has been debugged. Quite honestly, if there really was a screw in this, then... Ooh. What is this? Oh, that is a cover over... Ah, the mauve. Okay. That needs to go back. All right. And let's see here. Oh, there is some something in that. I'm just trying to see if I see anything that's like shorted or blown. Or leaked, maybe. Yeah, no REFAs in here. Yeah, that is 486 on the daughter card. So, all right, so we got two capacitors here that I don't see any signs of leakage. Look, I can see the end of them since they're through hole and bent over. So I can actually see the bottom of them, and I don't see any signs of leakage. So let's see here. I think these are probably two MOSFETs. I do see there is an interesting pattern on the top of them, but maybe that's just mold marks from manufacturer. That's probably another MOSFET. That's probably going to be a polycap. That's a transformer, I bet. Although one or more of these could be voltage regulators for one of the rails. So that's another polycap. These are inductors. I do not know what is under this tape. It is fairly well around that I can't really get to it. And it does appear as if Compaq never intended for you to take this apart. Yeah, this does not does not appear to be a it's a I don't know what it is, Jeremy. It's under a heatsink. I can't tell right offhand. It's a I've got it closed. It's probably a PQFP. Oh, welcome back, Roger. So I don't see anything obvious on this power supply. I guess I could check for shorts. It looks like it would be very difficult to repair, though, because there's a clip, but it kind of almost seems like it might be glued in on the other side. Or riveted in or something. Actually, I think it is riveted together in parts. Okay. I think I'll set this to the side for now. Not sure what I'm going to be able to do about that, because I don't see anything obvious right now. Oh, I guess one thing I could do, though, I could see if it's maybe shorted on the output, maybe? Oh, 1.6 kilo ohms. That's probably about right. Is it shorted on the AC side? Let me double check that. Mm, 3.8 mega ohms. That's fairly high resistance. That's probably fine. I guess let me just check these caps here. Yeah, the DC jack's still in the laptop, but I don't know that I have. I'll have to go see what I've got in terms of power adapters that might fit it. Okay, so I got four mega ohms across this capacitor. That doesn't seem right. 4 mega ohms across that capacitor. Okay, that's definitely not a resistance I expected. I wonder if that resistor is open. I mean, normally I know it's hard to read capacitors in circuit, but that implies that the capacitor might actually be open. Okay, this capacitor is... Alright. The resistance is going down as it charges. Oh, no, it's going up again. It's about 80, 90. Hello? I don't know. That seems pretty high resistance, too. Contura or Concerto power brick would fit the jack. Well, I don't have a Contura or a Concerto. I've got an LTE 5000. I don't know what voltage it uses. I've got a Dell something or other, but its jack might be too big. I've somewhere I've got a 12-volt power brick, and I would actually be totally fine with trying that first. I'm kind of honestly wondering if something maybe is blew open on this power supply. All right, everyone's saying to try the DC jack, which is probably fair because, quite honestly, depending on what's wrong with that AC supply, I might just replace it. Well, now I don't know if it'll output 3 amps or better. Somewhere I've got one that I'm pretty sure outputs 2.5 amps. Which will have to be good enough. I just have to remember where it is. I mean, the thing is, if I had a barrel jack to put in my bench power supply, I would use that, but I don't. Okay, let me look at my collection of 5-volt power adapters. Maybe I'll steal the plug off of one of them. Oh, I just found a 6-volt power adapter. That's not enough. There we go. All right. Well, let me see if I can remember what this goes to. Is a Microlife AC adapter. Output 6 volts, 0.6 amps. This power adapter is giving its life in the name of science. What a noble cause. All right. This power adapter seemed to fit the LTE's jack. Compaq like to end their names in vowels, or with vowels, yeah. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to use my bench supply, which has the added benefit of current limiting if I would discover when I plug this in that it's shorted or something shorted. Okay. So I've been told center positive. So I'm pretty sure the center pin is probably the one that's striped. No. No. Okay. The one that's not striped is center. All right. Let me set the LTE Elite to the side for a moment. Let me pull out my absolutely fantastic bench supply. It is fantastic because it is a joy to set. I wish I had a better one. Beggars can't be choosers, though. I at least paid the right price for this. Alright, I determined the stripe was not the center pin, so stripe connector to negative. The non-striped one to positive. Alright, plug the power supply in. I'm pretty sure this will go up to 30 volts at 3 amps. Turn it on. I will use my multimeter to make sure that all right. Let's go to volts mode. See here, course voltage adjustment. So I think I will start at, we'll say 12 volts. There we go. 12.15 volts. And now for the really annoying part of the adjustment. To adjust the current limit, you have to short the leads, which is kind of hard with a barrel jack. So let me use a thin, flimsy wire. I have it turned off. I'm sure this wire will get plenty warm. All right, now I have shorted. And for the first setting, I'm going to current limit at 1 amp. Now, that may not be enough. I can dial it up, but I'm going to start off with a relatively low current limit. All right, now set the bench supply to the side. All right, get the LTE Elite back out. I've got the bench supply turned off. Plug in the barrel jack. Already have it tangled up with stuff on my workbench. Great. All right, and in case something happens, I will open up the lid so that we can see the sparks. All right, 3, 2, 1. And we are drawing nothing. .2 volts. Well, maybe 12.2 volts is not high enough, so let me go up to 13.5. All right, I still don't see anything, but let me see if I can see any signs of voltage. All right, so there's the negative. And let me see. Point 5, that doesn't make sense. See, like 0.5 volts. That must be something else. Here we go, what's that? Oh, okay. 13.5 volts. On the input, which is what I'm outputting. And I have no idea. Trying to see if I find something that I know is going to be a particular voltage. All right. All right, I guess I'm going to slowly turn the voltage up. Because I do know the manual says the car adapter outputs 18.5 volts. I'm going to go to 18 volts. I have 18 volts coming in. RAM should have 5 volts. Well, I don't know that RAM will have 5 volts until I turn it on. Ooh. Just tried to turn... Wait! I got a power LED. I dared hit the power button. It is drawing half an amp and... Yes! Checksum invalid. Diskette controller error. We have life. We have life out of this LTE Elite. And it's only drawing half an amp. I think I need to plug a keyboard. Yeah, go for 18 volts. Yeah, it was probably the good call. All right, I need to... Yeah, I suspect the AC power depth. Yep. 1782, disk controller failure. 163, time and date not set. You don't say. And now, for everyone's favorite, come on, I know you can do it. Compaq, come on. Get... Oh. Okay, I was waiting for it to tell me something that was going to require pressing a keyboard key. Okay. Amazingly, I turned the power supply off, it turned off. Probably not surprisingly. Okay. That's good. Looks like there's something wrong with the AC power adapter. I can deal with that. The screen actually looks really nice. All right, so let me plug a keyboard in so I can actually save the changes and see if it tries to boot. And then I'll, I guess what I probably should do is plug the floppy drive in too. Although the floppy drive is probably dead, but okay, I'll plug it in as well. I guess I need to plug it in first. The fuse I found is on the motherboard. The fuse on the motherboard is fine. By the way, this floppy drive is probably dead. Citizen used belts. Compaq used Citizen. Probably because Compaq spared no expense in areas of their laptop, but the floppy drive was not one of them. Like, there's some things about these Compaqs that are, like, high quality. probably the parts you can see. Then the floppy drive, it uses a belt. And the thing is, Chris has told me these floppy drives are just about impossible to get open. Yeah, I know, Adam. I can use a random 18-volt brick. I kind of like not having to find a brick to power these. Okay, I think I got the keyboard in and the floppy drive in, so let's see what it does. Carefully. Oh, there we go. All right. Ooh. That's not good. Well, I got a memory error. I didn't get a memory error the first time I tried to boot this. Oh. Hold on. Something's not happy. Let's see here. Did I plug something in wrong? It's not happy about something now. Okay, let me remove the keyboard and remove the floppy drive, and yeah, I know there is a modern replacement. It fits. It runs flash floppy. I almost ordered one, but the only seller's in Australia, and well, that currency conversion rates is what stopped me from ordering the last time I started to order one. And then I realized I might need two of them. The only thing I really, the only thing I didn't like so much, although I realized there's not much they could do about it, it's kind of hard to see the screen because the screen is like, you have to read it through the floppy slot, but there may be a fuse on the AC side, Thomas. I can't see it. There's like glue in the power supply. I could not see the... I could not see a fuse if there is one there. There might be one. I can't see it. There's glue on that side of the power supply. Oh. I mean... Oh, I got a memory error. That's not good. That would seem to imply that one of the onboard memory chips is failed. Because it says 4 4096 KBOK, 400,000 FF 201 memory error, 01000000 201 memory error. CMOS checksum invalid, disk controller error, disk controller failure, memory decrease detected. Huh. I removed the memory upgrade already. It did have one in it. I guess maybe it is... It is maybe an interesting idea. Maybe if I put the memory upgrade back, maybe it's running a RAM check on memory that used to be there, but it's not there because I pulled the board out. That would be a weird design, but... Well, I kind of would like to put this cover back on it. Alright, I put the memory upgrade back in. Let's see if that memory error goes away. I find it interesting that it's remembering it had more memory in it, considering the fact there's no CMOS battery in it. Although I guess I could put the CMOS battery in and... Actually, if there's an VGA output... Oh, there we go. Alright, it's counting up memory. Oh, that's the old battery. Why am I putting the old battery in? I don't want to put the old battery in. Not when I've got a new battery. Oh, the memory error is gone. Maybe that memory error was there the whole time and I just didn't realize it. Alright, let me turn this off so I can plug the battery in. There we go. Alright, I have plugged the CMOS battery back in, so it will retain its settings. Alright, let me see if I can... Let me see. Okay, yes. This does have an output on it. So at least you all can see what I'm seeing. Alright. Okay, my external monitor came to life like it sees something, but I don't see any text on the screen, so I bet I have to use the keyboard to... Oh yeah, I bet I need to press function 4 to go to external output. Which I can't, because the keyboard's not plugged in. Okay, so it counted up to 20 megabytes. It did not give me a memory error. And the only errors it gave me this time were diskette controller error and a disk controller failure. So that's good. Apparently the memory error was it checking memory that was no longer present. Alright, well let me plug the keyboard in. Oh, let me put the floppy drive back in, which the floppy drive probably doesn't work. Yeah, this drive is so thin, I definitely could see how it would be so hard to get it open to even service. Although it looks like the top cover will come off. If you unscrew a couple clips. Alright, tell you what. Okay, I'm gonna put the floppy drive back in and hook it up. Yeah, it's not a wireless keyboard. Very much a wired keyboard. See, Compaq could have been a they could have been so ahead of their times if they just made it a wireless integrated keyboard. And you want to go compute Well, you just remove your keyboard and I mean, I could see how that could be handy if you're like maybe presenting in a conference room and the hookup for the projectors in the front, and you need to sit somewhere closer to the middle of the table and just pull out the keyboard from your laptop. And of course, nowadays I guess they've got wireless presentation systems. So all right, so let's see here. Be quiet, multimeter. Oh, guess what? It listened to me. It will not bother me again until I turn it back on. All right. Well, this laptop might be an Elite in some ways, but the keyboard cable is fiddly. All right. Let's see what it does now. Okay. Drawing about half an amp. I wonder if I can switch to the external output during boot. No, I guess not. You know, this is the TFT screen, and I thought TFTs had better viewing angles, but this is not the best TFT screen. Although, I bet it's a pretty good one for the day. Oh, the backlight is like all... Oh. Okay, I think the backlight slider needs some deoxit, because there's like hardly any variation. All right, if I hit F1 to boot, non-system disk or disk error, replace and strike any key when ready. The Compaq prognosticator never made it to market. Okay, let me see if I got a boot floppy around here somewhere. Or maybe I can make one real quick. Hold on, let me see if I got any DOS boot images here. Let's see, search downloads for star.img. Disk 1. There we go. I've got a DOS install disk image here. Let me write that to this floppy disk. All right, disk. Let's see here. Image. Let me do that. All right, disk. Use floppy. Image. Disk. Let me see. Format and write disk. All right, hold please while I write a new DOS boot disk, and that didn't go very well. Okay, format disk. Oh. Well, it looks like the random disk I grabbed off my desk is bad. All right. Let me... Oh, good. My box of floppy disks is down here. I'm running low. I'll need to get some more. Yes, there are things that if you have and would like to send the channel, I would probably gladly take. Floppy disks that I can format and reuse would be one of them. I would gladly take them off your hand. All right. Well, that's good. That floppy disk at least seems to be formatting. That one disk I tried using, it wouldn't format track 0, so bad disk. Now, I'm going to go through all this process to probably find this floppy drive is dead. But in the meantime, I will invite you to smash that like button and subscribe if you're not already, because I'm pretty sure both of these LTEs will be back for more fun later. Also, we'll plug my coffee page, because that's one way I get supplies for repairing these computers. And let's see here. Let's see here. It's formatting. I'm formatting the floppy before I bother writing it, because if it fails, I won't waste time. All right, it is writing the disk image. And all right, it's about halfway through writing the image. And there we go. Oh. All right. Apparently my floppy disk is... Apparently my floppy disk has some bad sectors later in the disk, so I'm just going to power right through them, because I don't think they're in the boot part of the disk. I'm not going to... I don't have anything to install DOS on at the moment, so I just need to boot to a command prompt. Oh. All right, there we go. I have a boot disk. Place your bets in the chat. Will it boot? that is like really, really, really annoyingly noisy. That was that Citizen floppy drive. Yeah, I-8386 quickly said, that's a no. No, that was not a tantalum explosion. No, I-8386 knows exactly what that is. That is, yeah, he says, RIP belt. Yeah, that's a noise. It's looking promising, yes. All right. Well, let's actually take a look inside this floppy drive. I think some exploratory explorations are in order. Also, while that floppy disk was formatting and writing the image out, I may have ordered a few LTE parts while I was waiting. Just might have ordered just a few. Sloopy's betting that I will boot it. Ah, must mean the Sloopy's back. That must mean the the podcast dealy do that he watches must be over. All right, let's take a look inside this floppy drive and see what is going on. I'm going to try to keep this ribbon safe because I will need it to do a... If I replace this with a solid state option, I will need that cable. Let me see if I can find the screwdriver bit that will fit this. These are the really tiny screws. There we go. 1, 2. And looks like you might have to remove this one. 3. And 4. As long as the thing doesn't self-destruct. Oh, hi, Jason. Welcome. Yep, that was a noise. It almost seemed like this... It's like it was... I inserted the disk and it was trying to return something to track 0. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a spring. That's a... Wow, this thing is, like, really compact. Oh, there's the belt. Oh, wow. I see the belt deep down in there. Yeah, well, first of all, I can't show you the belt. Here you go. Right there's the belt. Oh, yeah, the belt is broken. What do you know? Big surprise. Oh, yeah, this belt is... Belt is gone. The belt has left the building. I don't even see how in the world you would get down in there to replace it. Yeah, 11mm worth of drive. Yeah, that is the belt. The belt is gone. Okay, well, at least the stepper assembly seems to be working still. The belt, however, is another story. Well, spoiler alert. And of course, it may be futile, but I was curious, so I ordered it anyways. But the one of the things I ordered on eBay while I was waiting for the disc to format was a LTE Elite floppy drive. The seller even says 30-day warranty, tested working. So you all can place your bets in the chat as to how working it will be when I get it. Oh, well. Now there's the rest of the belt. And unfortunately, there's like a ribbon cable. Oh, no, that's not the rest of the belt. There's still pieces of belt down in there. Yeah, there's like a cable or something that I can't... I'd have to remove this board to get to that, and oh, this thing... I think I see why Chris was saying that these things are really hard to take apart and then get back together again. You don't have to take off a PCB to get to the belt. All right, okay, how do you get to the belt? Because I removed the spindle motor, but I see that that won't come out very far. I mean, honestly, the only reason I ordered the floppy drive was more curiosity than anything, but it would be nice to at least, if I have a working floppy drive, to be able to get one of these up temporarily until I can get one of the solid state replacements, since I have to order them from Australia. Because I have another LTE Elite. I got it at Be Thrifty up in Woodbridge. It's the 440 model. Oh. You're still zoomed in tight. Well, there probably really wasn't that much exciting to see. Well, the thing is, even if I get down to the belt, I don't have anything that will replace this. I don't have any belts that thin. I don't have any V8. I have one VHS tape, but I'd prefer not to steal a belt from it. Assuming that's what someone in the chat said people used belts from to fix these. Because I have a TV VCR combo that I bought at a thrift shop that I bought the VCR tape so I could test it. So I'd prefer not to steal the belt for this, at least until I've tested my TV VCR combo. Now, maybe I might be convinced to drag that downstairs so I can test that during Dave's pre-4th of July sale. I mean, pre-4th of July stream. Oh, okay, well, there's that. Oh, actually, if this is like Mac floppy drives... I wonder if now that I have... I know on Mac floppy drives you can, you basically, once you You can remove the drive carriage. Oh, the VHS tape trick will absolutely not work with these drives. Okay, good. Then my thrift shop acquired copy of Mission Impossible purchased because A, it was one of the discounted tapes, and B, because it has power books in it. And C, because hopefully it works and I can test my TV VCR combo that I don't really know why oh, I think I bought it because it also had inputs on it and it had a VCR. Remove the eject button. The eject button's not holding this in. Oh. You all are seeing the instructions. Okay, the eject button's off. I mean, if I can get to the belt, then maybe I might try replacing the belt. Although I'd really like to remove this ribbon cable so that I can set it to the side and make sure I don't damage it. I don't know if it just pulls out of this side or because I don't see any clips. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm setting the ribbon cable to the side because if I get one of those solid state replacements, I need that ribbon cable. I don't really want to have to pay 10 Australian dollars for a replacement. That whole carriage should slide out. Watch out for the heads when pulling out that carriage. Okay. Okay, it does seem like it wants to come out. Oh. Well, it seems like there's something holding it in on this side here. Let's try removing that clip, and now will it come out? There we go. I think I missed one of the two clips on the front that hold it in. There we go. All right, let me very gently lift that up slightly so that the carriage assembly will clear the heads. There we go. Got it out. I hope I stayed clear of the heads. Ah, okay. I see. So it looks like the rubber belt goes around this pulley here. Ooh, that'll be fun to clean the gunky belt remains off of. Okay, so it looks like the belt goes around the spindle, probably on this side of the pulley. Unfortunately, it broke, so I couldn't really see. So I think around this side of the pulley to guide it around and back to the motor here, and around on the other side and around the pulley. Actually, I think it probably goes this way. I think the pulley is just a... Oh, actually, I think it goes this way. And then around and then back this way. I think. Well, Actually, I don't know what it is now because it's not all of it's. Well, actually, maybe it is gooey. Yeah, it's a lot of little itty bitty pieces. So the trick is, I want to figure out how long of a belt that is, and find a belt. And it might be a push function cable can be pulled out. I think it's a push in. Yeah, I got the cable out, so at least I can set it to the side. Okay, well, it does look like if I can figure out what size belt that is, I might try it. I might be crazy for trying it. Oh, you might have a belt. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, anyways, I'm not going to be able to fix it tonight. So, I guess let me put the floppy drive. All right. So I'm just going to leave the floppy drive disassembled. Because if I do get a belt, then, well, I'll put the belt on and put it back together. And if I don't get a belt, then I won't put a belt on it and put it back together. How's that for a, so, okay. So there's all the little screws and those pieces. Since that's got a circuit board on it, I'll leave it out. And I'll find probably an anti-static bag for that. Hopefully that spring doesn't come off. And there's the ribbon cable, which I want to keep safe. Okay. But that's actually, actually, that is really, oh, you know, I just realized if you'll remember on the bottom, there were 5 screw positions on the bottom, and I only found 4 of them. I have a feeling that last one is the screw that was in the power supply. I bet whoever had this before. I bet they lost that screw in the power supply. So this is going to be case, power supply, and keyboard. There we go. Cool. All right. So that's good. So I have one Compaq LTE that has signs of life. Able to get it powered up with a DC power adapter. And I, well, ordered a spare part from an eBay seller in case I can't figure out what's wrong with that AC power adapter. It may be a matter of I may use the working one from the eBay seller and then take this apart to maybe learn what's wrong with it and figure out how you might take this apart non-destructively, because this one might not survive the disassembly. Yeah, RetroTech Chris might have the oh yeah, that's no guarantee that'll fix the problem, but you'll definitely look. The ones built in Japan sometimes need more. Yep, that was a built in Japan. So, anyways, so, product of Taiwan. This was a Taiwan power supply. Anyways, so I got a replacement one of these and a floppy drive. But I think I'll probably get some of the solid state replacements for long term. But at least it'd be nice to have a floppy drive so I could maybe short term until I can get one of those floppy drive replacements, or two of them actually. I'd like to put one in my other LTE Elite. It's also why I got a second CMOS battery, is I'm going to put it in my other LTE Elite, so at least it'll keep its settings. But yeah, so this one's my high-end spec. It's got the 75 megahertz DX4. It has the TFT screen. And it's got 20 megs of RAM in it, 4 on board, and 16 expansion. It is missing the plastic door on the back. It's missing the plastic door on the card slots. Other than that, though, it's in pretty good, clean condition. I don't really see any caps. I don't see any electrolytic caps on the motherboard. So it looks like Compaq might have used tantalums on the motherboard, which is good. So it doesn't look like I need to pull this motherboard out any further. I mean, I guess I could look under the CPU module. I guess I am curious. Okay, let's check under this module. If I can pry it up carefully. It looks like it is a very similar connector to the RAM expansion module. So it should just pop out. There's no screws holding it in. There we go. I like how they did that to make sure that you can't plug it in but one way. So very cool. Oh, and then there's the BIOS chip under it, but no electrolytics. That's the processor module. And Jeremy, you were asking what kind of CPU was under it. I believe that is the PQFP. I mean, I kind of wonder what it might take to put an AM5X86 in this, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, theoretically, you could probably do it. In fact, I'm kind of wondering if someone did do it back in the day. Compaq did make that a... In fact, I think this was a user upgradable module. I do know Compaq only did have one option, and it was the DX475. So that was like the upgrade option. You could get the DX475 processor. But that's cool. All right. Now, does this laptop have onboard sound? No, I don't think it does. Unlike the LTE 5. Yeah, the DX475 is a nice 486 CPU, especially for a notebook. So what'll I need? One thing I will need for I'm gonna need to get a hard drive caddy so I can put a compact flash card in it. I don't know if that's the same caddy as the LTE 5000 series, but I might need to get a caddy because I'll put a compact flash card in it. And yeah, that probably, and deal with the floppy drive and the power supply, but cool. That's really nice. This will be a nice little laptop. And then sometime I think I'll manage to convince Chris to... Okay, so there was a DX4 100, but only in prototype, and that was the only Elite to have a sound card. Yeah. Cool. The 5000 and Elite used the same caddy. Okay, very good to know, because I actually have a spare caddie then. If that were, well, but Jeremy, have you seen the video that Kevin Moonlight, I forget what his YouTube channel name is. Kevin Moonlight was, I don't know if he's working on or was testing a PCMCIA AdLib adapter. And he was using his LTE Elite for it. So, I mean, I might get a parallel port sound card for one of these. Whichever one I get, though, is going to have a family-friendly name, because this is a channel that respects that your kids might be in the background, so just saying. But yeah, in fact, it kind of looked like it might be something that was being worked on based on the Pico Gus, because I sure thought I saw a Raspberry Pi Pico in the setup connected to the PCMCIA card slot. So yeah, that could be really cool, and would allow you to be able to use an AdLib card in more places. So anyways, yeah, I might do a parallel port sound type module with this, because I think it does have a parallel port. It is going to get the labels cleaned off of it, though. But yeah, there's the parallel port. Look at that. Oh, that's the one based on a bunch of resistors. Oh. I don't want that. I want an actual AdLib card. I want something that's going to cause one bit to go, now you can play Dune 1 on it. And then he'll probably chime in, oh yeah, it's probably too, that laptop's probably too fast for it, but something like that. I don't know where you get it. It's probably a lot like the Kovacs clones. Oh yeah, it's a clone of the Kovacs speech. There's where you get it. Oh, and Jeremy posted a link to the YouTube. If you want to bookmark those, you probably should bookmark them sooner rather than later, because as soon as I edit the first 15 minutes of awkwardness off this live stream, the chat replay unfortunately goes away, because apparently YouTube thinks that you have to get rid of the chat replay if you edit a live stream, and can't just simply, retime all the chat comments. It's like, whatever, YouTube. Why can't you just, make it so you keep them? Because it's not like I'm editing the middle out or something. I don't know. But anyways, this is really cool. This LTE Elite appears probably the main problem was the AC power supply. I have confirmed that it will power up with 19 volts. It doesn't like 12. It did not like 12 volts. That was not enough voltage for the power supply, apparently, or I just needed to press the power button. But yeah, 18 volts, 18.5 volts. Excellent. Oh yeah, the LTE 5000 actually has the ESS, the ESS Sound Blaster backwards compatible ESS sound. So those are really nice. They also have Cirrus Logic video cards. Yeah, I know, not Trident. Although, I have to admit, one of the computers on my watch list is another Emerson PC. And guess what? It's got Trident video card in it. On board. The seller, I think, wants just a bit too much for it, so that's like the only thing that stopped me from like buying it. But yeah, this will be great. Nice Compaq LTE. We'll get it back up and running. I do have a spare hard drive caddie, I believe, because when Chris gave me the first LTE 5000 series in my collection, he asked me if I wanted a compact flash card or the hard drive, and I kind of paused. He was like, or would you like both so you can switch between the two? I was like, I'd like both. So I should have a spare hard drive caddie. So I can take the hard drive out of that one, and at least I got a caddie to put in this. So I'll be able to figure out. I think Chris told me that there is a way that you restore these by using the soft packs. So I guess I will get to learn the trick of restoring a Compaq from the soft packs. Because I think there's an image on archive.org, but I think it's an LTE 5000 image, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, maybe it is an LTE Elite image. But I don't have Norton Ghost, so I may have to figure out how to restore that. But I'll have to figure out what says compact flash card to get to restore it. So there may be an image I might be able to try, but there's some catch to the image. I think it might be German. And my LTE Elite doesn't have a German keyboard. That could be interesting. But yeah, I know Jeremy's about to chime in. But something I'm about to send you does, and yeah, spoiler. So, yeah. All I'm going to say is that one of the things Jeremy's sending me, there's a reason why I got this video card. And because it's got a feature connector that looked like all of these signals are on this feature connector, and that's all I'm going to say. That's the hint for what might be afoot with the item Jeremy is sending me. Oh, the original image is in Norwegian. Okay, well. Yeah, I can't read German. I definitely can't read Norwegian. Jeremy wasn't going to say anything. Okay, well, I spoiled it. Yes. Jeremy picked something up for me at VCF Southwest. It's like, he saw it, he thought it would be right up my alley, and he was right, so. Okay, you recently uploaded an image in English. Okay. Well, I may try one of those images, but I may also learn the art of soft pack restoration. So, anyways, this is great. I got one LTE that should be an easy fix. The LTE 286, I'm going to need to order capacitors. So, yeah, I guess I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do about those weird surface mount through-hole capacitors, but I'll have to order capacitors. I have a small Mauser order being formed. I think the LTE 286 will probably live again. It may just take a little longer, because I'm kind of afraid that I'm going to recap the motherboard and find that the backlight circuit needs work too, and that's probably in the display housing, and I'll have to figure out how you get the display housing apart. But anyways, one step at a time. Jeremy says recapping isn't always the answer. But, well, Jeremy, I am not gutting my LTE 286 and replacing it with a Raspberry Pi. That's also not always the answer. Because I think I had at least one person already suggest that. So, I'm going to, well, but Jeremy, though, there was signs that the capacitors had leaked on the motherboard, so that is going to be something I do. Although I probably need to check the power adapter that came with it, because I mean, I realize I'm probably going to run into some circuit somewhere that it's not the caps, but it's something else. But the LTE 286 series is known to have leaky caps. Jeremy's saying he wasn't going to mention a Raspberry Pi. Well, I was just forestalling the eventual reply from someone, not necessarily in this chat right now. But yeah, there is the, well, just replace it with a Raspberry Pi crowd, and that's also not always the answer. So, well, Jeremy, yes, I know the KISS rule. Keep it simple. But the thing is, replacing the capacitors is simple. Replacing other components is more difficult because they're not as obviously bad. So the simple thing is to replace the capacitors and make sure, make sure that's not the problem, because they are known to leak, and some of them do appear to have leaked. So, Rogers, hard to believe back in the day that people had to use computers like this. Man, they were roughing it. Yeah, seriously. All right, well, I got tricked on Tuesday to run my live stream longer than I intended. So I think I'm going to... Okay, I did say that if there was time, I would pull a third LTE down, but it is 20 till, and that's not enough time to replace the keyboard on an LTE 5000. Not if you haven't done it before. I'm sure Chris could do it in 15 minutes, but Chris is at the beach right now. So I'm not going to do that. Dave, don't forget, Dave, this Sunday, Dave is going to have his pre-4th of July stream. Nah, I don't think you tricked me, Jeremy. Oh, there was one other thing I was going to mention briefly. I guess it could be like a addendum to a relatively recent live stream. So let me set this to the side so I have a little bit of room. All right. Last week, I took a look at some 486 motherboards. And I had trouble with several of them. And actually, there's probably... All right, let me move the bench supply so I can zoom in. This was called, Justin was going to print this information so that I could have it in front of me during the live stream and not have to be cricking my neck trying to look at a monitor, but I can zoom in. This is, sometimes I just go low tech. So anyways, actually this is not the, actually, first things first. Then I'll go back to that piece of paper. Okay. So, I think it was last week, I took a look at several 486 motherboards, one of which was an EXP4044. I had some trouble with that motherboard, along with one of the others, that I think this one... Okay, I don't remember if this was the one or the other one was the one. It did not seem to like DX4 processors, the Intel DX4s at all. So, anyways, I also had trouble on multiple of them having them see write-back enabled processors. I do know this motherboard does say it supports L1, L2 write-back, write-through cache feature. I thought it should work. Now, however, I think I was probably using the simplified jumper guide during the live stream, because the jumpers settings for this manual you can see are on several different pages, and they're scattered and whatnot. And in fact, They even mentioned things like Intel P24C and blah, 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 blah. But I think there was one jumper I missed in the simplified jumper guide, and that was JP34. And it is for the L2 cache. And I should have set JP34 to 1 and 2 for L2 right back. And I have a feeling if I go grab that motherboard, I am going to see that JP34 is set to pins 2 and 3. In fact, I'm willing to do that right now on this live stream so that I can say I was wrong. Let me see. I think this is it. That's the motherboard that also recommends using an AMD for... Yeah, this should be it. Oh, as a side note, this was one of the boards where I discovered that the BIOS version on it was different than what was already archived on the retro web. So for this board, I have submitted its BIOS image to the retro web. They haven't processed the change yet, but I have submitted the version of the BIOS that was on this board to the retro web, so it will be archived. Anyways, JP34, the L2 cache mode. That jumper is this one right here. And what do you know? Right there it is. So, and according to the manual, pin 1 is the one closest to the Opti chip. There's the Opti chip. It's on pins 2 and 3. So, well, this motherboard's L2 cache is in write-through mode. So, I made a mistake. I did not catch it during the live stream that there was an L2 cache mode setting on this motherboard. And I did not catch at all that there was an action item for me to do, and that was to do this. So anyways, there'll be another something or other on my channel, be it a live stream or a video, where I will have to retry some of the things I tried on this board because I did not catch that jumper. So therefore, there you go. Yep, I confirmed. I made a mistake during that live stream. Now, there could be one other reason why on one of these two boards... Okay, so that would have been why the L2 cache was not in write-back mode on this board, no matter what I tried. Now, the other thing, and that's why I've got some of these other printouts. So anyways, that has to do with this board. That was specific to this board. Now, I'll hold on to these jumpers. I'll probably need them again. Now, more generically, and this is also kind of a word to the wise, and I will probably go back to my 486. I won't put these links in this stream. I will put the links in the 486 streams where they will be more beneficial to someone looking for these. More generically, if you look at a lot of 486 manuals for motherboards, and they will start dropping things like P24, P24S, P24D, P24C, P24T, P24CT, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, well, I don't know what any of those mean, so let me just guess. Well, I found this website here that had all the 486, most of the 486 code names. So anyways, for all the 486 motherboards, I need to go back and make sure that when I was trying to use my DX2 Intel processor, that actually supports write-back, meaning it has the ampersand EW on the printing. I need to make sure I was using the P24D jumper settings, because I may not have. So I may have made more than one mistake. Again, okay. So unfortunately, they don't have a code name for the DX4 write back enhanced on this website, but I think that might actually be. Actually, I think this other manual did. That might be P24C. No, that's not. Okay, so they don't. P24C is not right back. Anyways, the thing is, for that processor, I might have been using the wrong code name because I didn't realize what they all meant. So I may need to go back and make sure I jumper it for P24D if the manual says, and see if write back works. So that's that. That was more of a generically for your information. I'll link this website on the 486 streams and a pinned comment, along with probably that manual on the appropriate live stream. Just for anyone that probably comes back later and says, "Oh, you were using the wrong code name." Yep, this is the Justin realizes that this was me realizing. Yep, I did. All right. Also, some of the other things that tricked me, and let me make sure, see if this is the one I was thinking of. Intel code names, AMD code names. Hold on, I haven't zoomed in yet because I don't think this one. AMD code name. Oh wait. Oh, this didn't print right. Okay. All right. Well, that page didn't print right. I can't show you what I was going to show you on that. Somewhere I found a list of some of the other code names. Oh, okay. Also, I found this 486 chart, and this may provide a bit more information. That I'll also put a link on the 486 video in a pinned comment. But this is just basically a chart of, well, it says it's not comprehensive. I think there probably are some missing. But basically, this is all the, I think AMD and AMD and Cyrix, IBM and Intel processors. And it has a couple notes which might be useful for when I go back and see if I made any mistakes not knowing what some of these code names are. But anyways, for example, for the AM486 DX4100 enhanced write back, it's telling me it's the IP24D pinout. So I may need to try that jumper setting on the motherboards if it's got a P24D pinout. And also, okay, I don't have any Cyrix processors at the moment. In a stream a long time ago, I tried a Cyrix processor with that first 486 board I got, and it was acting wonky. I think that might be because the Cyrix processor... I think that motherboard might want the Cyrix processor that supports write-back cache, and those are harder to come by. I think the one I had did not. Oh, I think that the other thing I had on this was some of these adapters, where it also tells you the, it had some notes on some of the details on these adapters, like what pinout some of them were. But I guess the other piece was not on this page. All right. One other thing. Yeah, I make lots of mistakes. One other thing. Let me see if I can find the processor here real quick. I have this AMD processor. That one. Okay. So my 5x86 upgrade, the PNY quick chips, those do support write back cache, and I think that's a matter of just figuring out the jumper settings. I think some boards actually, and the board probably has to support write back cache. Now, this was the other thing I wanted to look at. So this AMD processor that came on an adapter I bought. So if you've got one of these AMD processors, if you want one that supports write back cache, you're looking for SV8B. So this one actually is a write back cache. So theoretically, if I get the jumpers right, I should be able to get right back to work on this processor, but I gotta jumper it correctly, and the board's got to support it. Also, here's the DX266, the one that I actually specifically bought because it was an ampersand EW. I know it's kind of hard to read with the glare. It's the way Intel like engraved and then inked the letters, but ampersand EW. So this is a write back cache because of that W. The E is for enhanced. I think that means it has the low power features. And then W is for write back cache. I don't have that Cyrix photo handy, Jeremy. Now, this DX2 that was in something I got, this one is not write back. In fact, this one is not even a low power enhanced. So see how it just says SX645? This one is actually not SL enhanced, which is low power, and this one's not write back. But this one has ampersand EW. I think the write back cache ones are going to be SL enhanced by virtue of how they were, that the write back cache ones were XL enhanced. Now here's this overdrive processor that doesn't work in one of my boards, which is why it's got the X with the question mark. I believe this overdrive processor, based on some of these tables, that that's why I printed this table. That was it. Here it was. So i486DX4 ODP100, that's that overdrive processor right there. It's a P23T, that's its code name. This table was mentioning write back enhanced, but if you'll notice, I don't think this overdrive processor supports write back on its L1 cache. So any of the live streams where I was trying to get write back on the L1 to work with this processor, I think I have discovered that it doesn't have write back cache enabled. So that was why I'd printed that chart. So anyways, that's kind of I have come to realize that when I did the 486 stream, I didn't have the best information, but I now have a better idea of which of my 486s should support write back on L1 and which ones will not. So this one would not. I knew this one would not. And it didn't. This one should, because it's ampersand EW. I haven't been able to get L1 to work on any of my motherboards yet. But that might be because I had the wrong code name jumpered. This one does actually not. I thought it was new enough that it would, but it doesn't support write back on the L1. And then this one should, because it's an SV8B. So anyways, sorry, Sloopy, they don't have one that says made for Xenix. The Xenix folks probably wouldn't pay for a silk screen. Yeah, anyways, yeah, write back cache was a headache then and a headache now, trying to figure it out again. So, yeah. Honestly, I guess the one good thing about everything moving to the Pentium platform is it was all pipeline burst cache at some point, and yeah. Jeremy, I don't have the pictures handy. Yeah. So yeah, Jeremy's mentioning a so Jeremy had bought a PCI 486 motherboard from Italy, and it had an IBM Blue Lightning processor on it, which is actually a rebadged Cyrix I think the Blue Lightning processors do support write-back cache, but I'm not totally certain. Because just because it's a Cyrix doesn't mean it supports write-back cache. But I want to say, for some reason, that IBM did put write-back support in the Blue Lightning processors. Because, after all, they were Blue Lightning. But I don't know. It looks like... Actually, it looks like maybe they didn't until the DX4 era. Or this... Oh, but this chart's not complete. So anyways... IBM 26, that's not in this chart. This chart... This table that I have in front of me does not have those IBM numbers on it. So... I would have to go look that up. Anyways, I don't have the processor in hand to try it to see if it has write-back cache. But anyways, yeah. So Jeremy bought this motherboard, and I am going to not mention exactly what attracted me to the motherboard, although the PCI certainly was a selling point. The Blue Lightning part of it certainly was a selling point. But there is another part of it, and Jeremy's not to mention anything else about that board, because, yeah, I'm going to hold this one close to my vest, too. There is something about the board that also was attractive to me that will lead to a video at some point. So, anyways. Yes, it will, and actually, this board that I'm getting from Jeremy may actually be the 486 board that goes in my sleeper 486 PC. So we'll see how that goes. But let's see here. But yeah, and also I guess so Jeremy's selling me that board, but he's giving me a good price on it, so I'll give him the shout out for that. And then he's also selling me, because he's consigning it for someone else, an Asus board that uses that video sound card combo. It's got that, what did Asus call it? They called it like the Media Bridge 2.0 or the... Actually, I got the scrapped board beside me. What did Asus call that? Media Bus. They called it Media Bus. This is the board that I tried to repair and I scrapped it. But anyways, it's well, actually, it's revision 2 of this board, so it's not this revision. But yeah, so he was consigning for someone else one of these boards, so I'm buying that from him as well. So, anyways, yeah, I do keep some secrets. Jeremy says he had to go through a tremendous amount of Google Translate between English and Italian to get that board. Well, your perseverance to Google Translate is admired, and I do appreciate you giving me a good deal on the board. So, I will put the board to good use. I will gladly let you, Jeremy, know what that other selling point was, because you probably... Actually, it's kind of in the bottom right corner of the board, if you know what I mean. That area of the board I was having you take lots of photos of, because now Jeremy knows what the video is going to be on. So Jeremy just got the spoiler because he's giving me a good deal on the board. The rest of you all will have to wait till I make the video. Anyways, although, as a side note, one of the other parts I need, if anyone's got some spare things in their parts bin they'd like to send my way, I could use some of those SRAM cache chips, so that go on like 386 and 486, and even some Pentium motherboards. It would be really nice if I had some of those. Especially if I could manage to finagle some 128x8s, but 64x8s would, or even 32x8s, but yeah, if I could really finagle some 128x8s, those would be really nice. But that's beside the point. Anyways, I think with that, I have did my what I kind of wanted to do of the, yep, I realized I made a mistake. I'll add some links to those 486 motherboard videos when I get a chance, probably sometime tomorrow. Might get a chance to do it over lunch. Anyways, I'll pin the comments. That way those websites will get linked. So anyone watching those videos, there'll be the pinned comment letting them know, yep, I've since realized I made a mistake, and I'll put the links for reference. And with that, there may be another 486 stream in the future where I can maybe finally see if any of those boards work now that I know what the Intel code names are. And maybe it might even give a chance for the boards Jeremy's sending me to arrive. So that will be great. I do thank you once again, Jeremy, for thinking about me at VCF Southwest. I do know the one other thing Jeremy picked up for me at Southwest, the item I'm not totally describing. Jeremy also did think of me and picked up 3 Trident video cards, so thank you, Jeremy. Retrotech Chris sent me the photo of them. I will hopefully find a time soon to go pick those up, because I also realized that Chris has some other things for me, mainly some things that when he cleaned out the minivan after our trip to VCF East, apparently some things fell out of my bag, so... Yeah, I saw the photo. I'm like, wow, that Apple IIe memory card looks strangely familiar. It looks like one I put in a bag. Oh, that's right. Chris did tell me he found one in the minivan. It did fall out of my bag. So, anyways. But yeah, thanks, Jeremy. It's great. All right, Thomas, well, you can get with me later. I'm probably going to go to bed so that I'm not loopy tomorrow at work. But yes, Jeremy did think of me and picked out some Trident video cards. So it looks like he did grab a couple different ones. I did, in the picture, it looked like there were at least 2 different chipsets. They may all 3 be different. It was hard to read the third. So that'll be cool. Oh, cool. That'll be great. If you get me that belt, then I will definitely give repairing that floppy drive a try. Because hey, if I have 2 floppy drives that work, even better. Not that I don't want to try one of those. One of the, I guess, flash floppy based replacement boards. So, Sloopy's got some stuff for me also. Excellent. And who knows? Maybe I might. Who knows? Maybe I might just send Sloopy that 2CI board and let him have at it. That could be pretty fun, seeing if I gave up too soon. So anyways, with that, I think I'm going to call it a stream, because I do want to be somewhat functional at work tomorrow. I guess if you all figured out, okay. Yes, the tooth's still cracked. Yeah, that tooth's still cracked. I am feeling better today. Well, I guess that's actually tomorrow now. Yeah, I was feeling better. I think Tuesday I was just having an off day, and the things were bothering me more. It wasn't bothering me as much today, so maybe the antibiotic finally is kicking the infection. So yeah, my dentist did refill the antibiotic, so I'm still on it. It's not bothering me as much, so maybe it is finally kicking the infection, so that would be good. So yeah. You could probably tell I was in a bit better mood. I apologize. Tuesday Justin was kind of a grumpy Justin, but, well, things were bothering me in my mouth, and so anyways, yes, I do definitely appreciate everyone that was warning me to pull the SID chip out of the C64 before powering it up with the Commodore Destroyer power supply that could have very well fried the SID chip. So Grumpy Tuesday was grumpy Justin. I am feeling better today. But let me get my sleep tonight so that I can continue to feel better. And I will see you all next time. Take care. Be careful when eating those sausage, egg, and cheese sandwiches for breakfast, because that's where the bone was that probably did the tooth in. So yeah, those things can happen when you least expect it. You might not be crunching ice, you might not be eating popcorn. You just have breakfast, and yeah, sometimes things happen. So take care, and happy retro computing. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.